Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Saturday, the 17th of October. No, it's the 18th of October. Sorry about that. So, today is Saturday, so we can go off the rails a little bit. So, I thought I'd talk to you about like my personal experiences and where your focus needs to be and why and how easy it is to change your focus. I know. I got you scratching your head now, right? So, stay tuned. Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is the 18th on a Saturday, October of 2025. So, what are we talking about? We're talking kind of like the glass half full, half empty. It's all in how you approach things, right? And we talked there the other day about how when the best way to handle things is when you come into the shop this morning, have yourself a cup of coffee, have yourself some quiet time, and this is a time to do a reset. And a reset just says whatever happened yesterday, unless there's something you can do about it, let it go and have a fresh start today and do what you can. You get to decide how your day is going to go. You can decide that you're going to be a pessimistic person and have a slant to it, or you're going to have a good day. Because I can tell you from experience that it's easier to be pessimistic and complaining than it is to be happy. And how do I know that? Because it happens to me a lot. Right down to, you know, 3 weeks ago, I started cutting firewood. And I was complaining that because I have six saws. Who in God's name has six saws? Your repair guy. He always has extra saws. So I was complaining to myself that I couldn't handle the big saw. It's a big Husqvarna 450. It was too heavy. And I was thinking back, not even a year ago, of how I was able to handle that saw. Even having back to back heart attacks, I could still lift that saw and run it. But I had a hard enough time just trying to lift it and put it in the back of the truck. So I started off with my small saws. I've got a limbing saw, and then I got a couple small steels, the 210 and the 250. And I've been using those for the first couple weeks. And then I I ran into the situation of where what was left in the meadows that needed to be cut up had to be cut up with the big saw. My little saw would not go through it, even coming in from both sides. So I said, I'm going to take a shot to see if I can do anything. Well, I got it out, pumped the primer bulb, was it 6 times, pushed the decompression button in, and I was able to start it. So, and I couldn't even pull it 3 weeks ago. So I ended up starting to block wood. Next thing you know, I found that it got easier and easier. And why is that? It's because my body wasn't built up enough to handle that saw. But by going and starting off small, working my way up, I was still able to accomplish getting back to where I wanted to be, of being able to handle that saw. And I ran that saw all day yesterday with no problems. Sometimes you're not where you want to be at this given point in time, but there's always a way to get where you want to be. It's just how to get there. And 3 weeks ago, I didn't know how to get there to handle this big saw. And just by using the smaller saws, working my way up, built my muscle up to where the big saw was okay. I could handle, I could start it. And, I finished blocking up all the big trees yesterday and I ran it for 3 hours. Just under 3 hours. That's what I mean by sometimes when you're looking at things and you got a choice in the shop at the end of the day. You can be happy that you got 9 machines in and out, or you can complain that the 10th one is still sitting there. You got a choice on where you want to focus. Could you have got the 10th one? Maybe if you stuck around long enough. But why aren't you happy with the 9 that you did get done? 9 is pretty good. 8 is probably the average, but everybody put a little extra effort and got the 9th one out. But we get a choice this morning whether they're going to complain that we didn't get that 10th one out or be joyous that we got 9 out and knocked them out. And that's how life is. You can either sit there and bitch and complain about anything negative in your life, which you can find quite easily, or you can focus on the positive. When you're focusing on the negative, you're not seeing the positives going on around you in your life. You aren't. All you're focused on is everything that has gone wrong and probably will go wrong. And when you get into that mindset of everything goes wrong, yada, 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 you also are making things go wrong at this point. Because you're coming at it wrong. You're coming at it at a pessimistic angle, and that's where you start making a lot of mistakes and causing you to spend more time doing something than if you had a positive approach, went in, knocked it out, and were happy with what you got done. That's life. That's life. If you have things that you need to get done around your home to get ready for winter, you got 2 choices. You can make a list and start knocking them out, or you can look at them as a whole and say, I can't do it. It's too much work. I'll never get it done. Be the pessimistic person. I've learned with my small brain that it's better to make a list of the things you want to get done and then just focus on one until you got it done or you can't do any more on it. Go to your next one. Go to your next one. Some people will take their list and take the easiest stuff first and knock that out first. Me, I don't. I try to have like a easy, hard, so that I'm not pushing the headwinds all the time. So that there's some easier ones in there so I see that I'm actually accomplishing something. If that makes any sense. Today's not going to be a long video. I just want you to get in the mindset and enjoy your life and enjoy that you're alive and that you have family and friends and people that love you, and knowing where and what is the most important thing or should be the most important thing in your life. And that is your family and your friends. That extra machine that you didn't get done is not going to thank you or belittle you. But if you got 9 done and you had time to spend with your family, if you have kids and stuff like that, and your friends, that's the better outcome. You need to make time. You don't need to work 24/7, 7 days a week. Nobody's asking you to. The only one that's pushing you to is you. And what I can tell you is, with running with the dogs, after a while, you get burned out. And then that's where a lot of people lose their businesses, is they just cannot do it anymore. They didn't know when to say stop and take a break. Do a reset every morning. And do this in your personal life too. Do a reset every morning when you get up. Thank God for another good day that you can put your 2 feet on the ground and then go at it with an open, positive thinking mind. So what did we do yesterday? Yesterday we fixed a back plate for one of our customers, one of the pins. I don't know if you guys understand what a 3-point hitch were on the attachments. There's 2 pins on it on both sides, one on each side, where the 3-point hitch arms hook. and he had broken it off where the pin went through. And it was the old, I mean, the back plate is older than I am. But the size of the pins were tiny. So what we ended up doing was bringing it into the shop, taking the cut off, cutting off the pins themselves, and then Claude took the torch and blew a hole right through. And then we had the pins in stock that usually you have a nut on it with a lock washer, pretty good sized nut. We didn't use the nut. We just took the nut and the lock washer off it and got it into the spot where it needed to be, and took the grinder and cleaned it all up, set it in, Claude welded all the way around it, and it looked so good. I told him, I said, let's do the other side while we're right here. So we did the other side as well, and it turned out good. He was coming yesterday to pick up his tractor. I wasn't down there. I've been cutting firewood all afternoon, and we were working, hauling stuff till 1 o'clock. So we got that done. Loaded the Massey Ferguson 50 onto the trailer. We did the hydraulics, and we told him we needed to change them. We pulled the dipstick, and it was milky. And when I call milky, it's really whitish color. And that tells you have a lot of water in it. And that's not good. If you're going to use that tractor at all during the winter, you want to drain that system and put in fresh hydraulic oil and a new filter if it has a filter in it. Because what's going to happen is we had a case where a customer called us and said, I can't shift the tractor, it won't shift. So we went up with a trailer, and by pushing the clutch in, at least it put it into neutral, right? So we winched it up onto the trailer, and we got it back to the shop inside with the wood stove and stuff. Took the cover off, and it was a solid block of ice in there. It was like 10 degrees out that day. Solid block of ice. And that sucker took a week of being in the shop with the cover off the top, with the drain plugs off the bottom so it can drain. And during the day, we'd run the salamander on it, our big one, at a distance to try to get it to heat up that case. Hydraulic is cheap compared to what you could break if that freezes up in there and you start reefing on it. We did an oil change on it. We put on new antifreeze in it. It's good for below 50. I told the guy if it's below 50 degrees out, negative 50, you shouldn't be outside doing anything. Anyways, so we got that dropped off. We're headed for Tractor Supply. We had 2 zero turns and a wood splitter to pick up. And then I remembered the other guy that had called that wanted his tractor picked up because it was locked in gear and would it move. So I told Claude, I said, let's spin in there quick. It's on our way. We got a look. And when we got there, the guy's 2 horses were in the middle of the road. So the troopers and everybody else was trying to round his horses up. And I opened the gate and the 2 followed me in. But Claude tried getting the tractor into neutral so we could get it up onto the trailer, and he couldn't do it. So the guy backs in, hooks his 4-wheel drive truck to it, and skids that tractor all the way out the barn, out into the driveway, and then hooks the chain to the front and pulls it sideways to straighten it up in the driveway. And I had Claude, since the back tires I knew were locked in gear, I told Claude, I said, what if we drop the end gate just before you get to the tractor, put a board underneath the back tires, so when it hits the trailer, the boards will slide and the hind tires don't have to. So he backed in and the front tires rolled right up onto the mesh, perfect, and then the boards and the back tires were just about onto the gate when I stopped him. So we hooked the winch up, and the winch came tight, but it wasn't pulling it. So we hooked 2 chains together, and we hooked it to his Jubilee. And Claude was coordinating as I was running the winch. And between the winch and the tractor pulling at the same time, we got that tractor up onto the trailer enough so that we could, because I knew if I got it on the trailer, I'd get it off, because I got a tractor that would lift the whole tractor off the trailer. So, but we got it back to the shop. And Claude took it off with a skid steer with no problem. Loaded back up again, headed back into town to Tractor Supply, picked up 2 zero turns and a firewood splitter, wood splitter. I'll do a video on them, my diagnostics, Monday. I think one's got water in the issue for the fuel of the zero turn because you have to run the choke. Or it could be the carb needs to be cleaned. The wood splitter hasn't run since the guy put fuel in it. Good chances are if we drain it, it'll run. Put fresh fuel. And then the other one, the zero turn does run, but it looks like hydraulic fluid that it's dumping. So we just got to find out where the leak's coming from, get that buttoned up, and get those back to Tractor Supply next week. So on that note, you guys enjoy your Saturday. Reset this morning. Think happy, positive thoughts. And do the things you can do, and the rest put up to God. That's how I do things. Because one thing you're not going to be able to do when you're trying to accomplish things, the things that are out of your control are other people. You have no control over anybody else but yourself, of how you react to anything and how you do things. So when it comes to dealing with other people, I do the best I can, but I put it up to God because I know it's out of my control. As a little bonus, I'll show you what I was doing yesterday, so watch this.
Alright, so who's the bad one? Are you the bad one, or are you the bad one? How about you, Ladybug? No, it wasn't you? How about you two? You're keeping quiet, huh? How about you, Sparky? And there's Coco. How about you, Lucy? Huh? Trying to give you water, but I'm not going to fight with you. What in God's creation do you think you're doing getting in a fight with a porcupine? You're not going to win. Are you? Don't look at me like that. How about you, woolly mammoth? Mama Dextra? Coco? Gertie? How about you, Lucy? Who's the ringleader here? You can't take the vats and throw them in the air with your horns when I'm trying to give you water. You already pinched my finger, my elbow. Yeah? How about you, Red? Was it you? You haven't got horns. Gotta be you, woolly mammoth. How about you, sweetie pea? Huh? I can hear you breathing, Mama Dextra. Sounds like you're snoring, or you need OCD or CDOP or something like that. Why don't you guys go find some place to get? I already give you your grain. You're not willing to let me water you without throwing water vats in the air. So get skedaddle, go do something besides bothering me. Are you listening, Sparky? I don't think so. Don't sit there and look at me like I'm a dummy. Still can't figure out how you got in a fight with a porcupine. Hopefully the porcupine didn't win. Right, Gertie? You guys gotta go someplace. That means you, Red.
Control. On that note, enjoy your Saturday.